Hello everybody, hello, welcome. We'll be getting going fairly soon, we'll just wait for people to join us.
Well, Margaret's on pen.
Hello Margaret. You know, we can rely on you.
Margaret comes on all our quizzes.
She does.
I'll just...
oh my goodness, who's
I have a message from... a message from DJ Ozzy from Saturday night, and he wasn't very happy about being forced to play Meatloaf, Dead Ringer. He wasn't happy about that at all, and he can confirm that that the prize from last week's rock music quiz has been delivered to Morrison's in Shirley. Not Morrison's in Shirley, Morrison's in Sturchley. So that prize, not worth winning, was delivered. So yes, welcome everyone. I think it's 8 o'clock. You can put it down.
It is 8 o'clock. Yes. I shall put this down. Hello everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Right, I'll go back and...
go and monitor the comments.
I'll go and write the comments down.
Assist me ably, DJ Nigel.
Right, you are.
Or are you DJ Devil?
Phil Bebbington's on. That must mean Scamp the cat is here.
Oh, right. Marvellous. Hello all. Hello everybody. Yes, I can see a few regulars on here.
Yes.
Yes, welcome everyone.
We'll
be getting going in a little while. If there's anyone new on here, welcome too. And you'll need a pen and paper because you will be marking your own questions.
Oh, Claire and Mark are on, who came on to our rock night.
Oh, yes.
What a fantastic night we had with you two. You really did give us some great suggestions for songs, and you really got into the spirit of it. So we were ever so pleased to see you, and we're even more pleased that you've joined us tonight.
Yes,
so.
Thank you. Right, well, I hope everyone's keeping well. We're keeping well here. We're just staying safe while we need to. But, you know, we're having a bit of fun. I've got my glass of wine, of course.
And I have my glass of non-alcoholic Heineken Zero.
Yes, DJ Nigel is still off the alcohol.
I know, this has never been heard.
Since New Year's Day, so he's doing incredibly well. Yes, very impressive. Right, shall I just sort of run through... I'll run through
the rules, and then I'll just make sure I've got everybody.
Yes, okay.
Lisa and Mark are on from Fletcher's, so hi Lisa and Mark. Didn't do too brilliantly last time on the rock music quiz, only got about 18, but maybe the 70s is more your thing.
But it's the taking part that counts, and it's all a bit of fun, something to do on a Friday evening when you can't go out, can't do much else, so there's not a great deal on the TV. So we're pleased that you're joining us for our quiz. We do a quiz every week. Next Friday it will be DJ Nigel's...
Well, Vinyl Revivals, it's a joint...
Yes, Vinyl Revivals 80s, back to the 80s. So if you're really into your 80s, that'll be for you. But if you're into your 80s, you're going to like the 70s one as well, because there's plenty of overlap there.
Someone's asked if they need a team name. Well, you can do... if you want to do funny team names, yes, we're all up for that. We're going to do it for next week, definitely. But if you want to do it this week as a trial run, yes, give us a team name. But I've been writing your actual names down while Penny's been
whittling
on.
Yes. Oh, he loves me really.
Yeah, I do. What's not to love? You're wearing your 70s garb, I see.
I am, yeah. I've got 70s style gear on, yes.
She's got into the spirit of things.
Got some flares on underneath, although obviously you can't see those. But I thought I'd get in the mood, get in the right spirit. So yes, the rules of the quiz are that we have 4 rounds of 10 questions on a variety of things 70s related. After each round, I'll give you the answers and you'll be marking your own. So write down your answers on a piece of paper, please. Do not put the answers in the comments, otherwise everyone will know. And everyone will either get it right or everyone will get it wrong. Which isn't helpful either way, really. So yeah, just write you comments on a piece of paper. Your answers on a piece of paper, and I will reveal the answers at the end of each round. There might be a tiebreaker if needs be. We'll probably do a tiebreaker anyway.
We like tiebreakers.
We like tiebreakers.
Like,
yes,
everybody likes
yes.
tiebreakers.
Right. Is everyone ready?
Everyone's ready. I've got everyone's name down.
Right.
Sam is here with Daisy the dog. That's,
hello, Sam and
Daisy
Daisy.
normally does quite well. Sam not so well usually. Phil Bebbington is on with Scamp the cat. Scamp normally does quite well. We haven't done any birthdays, so anyone's birthday this week, we'll give you a communal shout out, and everyone will press the heart symbol to wish you happy birthday. So shout up if it's your birthday. Make sure you've got a drink, because it's a drinking quiz, isn't it? This?
It doesn't have to be alcoholic. You can have a cup of tea or...
Yes, Paula Jones. It doesn't have to be alcoholic.
A lot of our previous winners are not on the alcohol, so if that helps. But it helps me just to have a drink as I'm going on.
Margaret's having her jab next week, so she'll be
brilliant.
she'll be able
That's
to
good news.
Party on down before the rest of us. So yes, that's good news.
That's good news. So I think mine's likely to be the end of April. I think the rough estimate is.
Is that right?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So, anyway,
I think I've got. There's no more names coming in.
Right,
so
okay.
if you
Shall
want
we get going? Let's get going. Yeah. Righty-ho then. First round is on music and fashion. So here are 10 questions on music and fashion. Write down your answers on your piece of paper, please. Right, number 1. In which year were all these songs released? Mama, We're All Crazy Now, Superstition, You're So Vain, Walk on the Wild Side, Starman and Virginia Plain. So that's question number 1. In which year were all these songs released? Mama, We're All Crazy Now, Superstition, You're So Vain, Walk on the Wild Side, Starman and Virginia Plain. Question number 2. Reginald Kenneth Dwight and Pauline Matthews had a UK number 1 hit in 1976. What was it? They do have aliases.
See what you did there.
Yes, these are not their stage names.
I see.
So it's question number 2. Reginald Kenneth Dwight and Pauline Matthews had a UK number 1 hit in 1976. What was it? Question number 3. There is only one 1970 studio album in the top 10 best-selling albums of all time in the UK. What is it? And I thought it was 1 of 2. The other one is actually at number 11. So if you know your 70s albums, you've got a 50-50 chance really on this one. So that's question number 3. There is only one 1970s studio album in the top 10 best-selling albums of all time in the UK. What is it? Question number 4. Which record label, founded in 1979, featured the logo of a man in a black suit, white shirt, black tie, pork pie hat, white socks and black loafers? The name of the man in the logo was Walt Jabsco.
What colour underpants had he got on?
Couldn't see because he'd got
a black suit on.
A black suit on.
Presumably
I'm guessing
black.
Black or white, I would guess. Unless they were white and they'd been through the washing machine several times.
I was going to say something else.
In which case they'd be grey.
Oh dear. This is not going well.
No, you're lowering the tone,
No,
aren't
I'm
we?
not really. No, nothing to do with me, Ben.
We do like a bit of banter on our quizzes, so, you know, yeah, we have lots of banter in the comments, don't we, in between rounds, so...
We do.
So, to repeat question 4, which record label, founded in 1979, featured of a logo of a man in a black suit, white shirt, black tie, pork pie hat, white socks and black loafers, named Walt Jabsco? Question number 5. Which 1970s band comprised Graham, Eric, Kevin and Lol? All multi-instrumentalists, singers, songwriters and producers.
Are you going to give a supplementary clue? Because I thought that was a bit tough.
Did you think that was tough?
Well, you did tell me a supplementary clue about
clue
2 of them
that
formed another band, didn't they?
well, Kevin and Lol went on to produce a load of highly acclaimed music videos in the 80s.
And didn't they have a hit with a song called Wedding Bells? Is that them?
Yes, they did.
There we are. That's it. There's your supplementary clue.
Okay.
Thank you very much, everyone. I'm on your side here, folks. It's us lot against Penny here. Have you got a lyrics round, by the way?
No.
Oh, no lyrics round.
I'll do a lyrics round and I'll do my retro music quiz, don't I? But
Yes.
not on the 70s
Oh,
quiz.
okay.
Yeah.
Right, fair enough.
Otherwise there'd be too much music then, wouldn't there?
You can't have too much music.
Oh, that's true. However, I will be having a round on ads, and it'll be, you know, sayings and that from the strap lines or whatever from the ads. So
What,
it's
people
a bit
called Adam? Around on ads? No. TV ads you're on about, aren't you?
TV ads. So that's a little bit like lyrics. Anyway, I will repeat. Excuse me. I will repeat question 5. Which 1970s band comprised Graham, Eric, Kevin and Lol? All multi-instrumentalists, singers, songwriters and producers. Right. Now, next 3 questions. I've got a slip of paper somewhere. Where's it gone? Excuse me.
Seamless, this is.
Seamless. Right. The next 3 questions are on fashion. And I've got the anagrams for these fashion things. So, if I put this up, is that... can you see that?
You go and have a look. Yes,
Yes, okay.
That's brilliant.
Right, yeah. So question number 6, the anagram is swilled P, and it's a common feature on many jackets, both men's and women's, during much of the 1970s. So that's question 6. Swilled P is the anagram for a common feature of many jackets, both men's and ladies, during much of the 1970s. Have you worked it out?
No. There's no Q in there.
No, there won't be.
Well, no, it can't be sequins then, can it?
Oh no, it's not sequins.
No. Right, carry on.
Right, question number 7, the anagram, the eel chocks, refers to a loosely woven cotton cloth, more commonly used in the kitchen, that became popular for casual summer shirts in the 1970s. And I do remember how excited I was when I got a shirt made of this material. I think it was about 75 or 76. I was so excited. And we were on holiday in Wales at the time, actually. So that's question number 7. The eel chocks is an anagram for a loosely woven cotton cloth more commonly used in the kitchen, that became popular for casual summer shirts in the 1970s?
I never had one of those type of shirts.
Did you
No,
not?
no.
Did you not? Oh,
No.
you missed
Well,
out,
I was a bit young, really, but
Oh, no, well, you know.
no, I didn't get one of those.
No. Well, that's unfortunate,
Shame,
isn't it?
yes.
Yeah, you missed out there. And question number 8, the anagram fresh matte loops. These are fashion items that were particularly popular with young women and glam rock acts in the early to mid 70s.
Aha.
You got that one?
Aha, yes.
So that's question number 8, the anagram fresh matte loops are fashion items that were particularly popular with young women and glam rock acts in the early to mid 1970s. Okay. I am now going to move this down because my arm's aching. And
People are liking your anagrams round, or your anagrams round within a round.
Yes,
Yes,
I
I
might
like
do
that.
more
Yes.
of the anagrams then. Right, I've got to put my arm down now because it's starting to ache a little.
Yes,
and
so that's enough time for
and
people to
I need to
see.
hitch my glasses up because they're sliding down my nose again. Right, okay. And the final 2 questions for round 10 are on fragrances. So number 9, which unfortunately named women's perfume was launched by Lanferic in 1975? Free and friendly, bold and exciting. She's wearing...
Slapper. Oh, sorry.
Stop it! And everybody loves her.
I'm gonna have a perfume. That's great. You know what? That will sell well. That will.
Well, this one sold well.
That will sell well in ACOG screen. That will.
And if you want to know what type of perfume it was an Oriental floral.
Oh really? Okay.
So that's number 9, which unfortunately named women's perfume was launched by Lanferic in 1975. Free and friendly, bold and exciting. She's wearing... And
Slapper.
everybody loves her. Oh dear, he's lowering the tone already, isn't he? I mean, it's just turned 8:15 and you're already lowering the tone.
Not even drinking.
And he's not even drinking. I'm going to have words with him later, aren't I, folks?
Yes.
Right, and finally for this round, question number 10. What was the budget aftershave by Pfizer? It could be the same company that's making the vaccine. It's spelt the same way, so it stands a good chance. So the budget aftershave by Pfizer, which was promoted with ads including self-defence instructions to help wearers fend off women. It was originally launched in 1967 but became popular with a rise in interest in martial arts in the 1970s.
Smallpox.
Yeah, that would ward off.
Ward off anybody.
I think it's a
No, I did have this for Christmas once. This particular.
that doesn't
I had
surprise me.
the gift set
The
with,
gift set,
with the
ooh.
aftershave. Not only the aftershave, but I think it was, I don't know if it was shower gel or what, but anyway, it definitely had some deodorant as well.
Oh, right.
And yes, it was good
Did
stuff.
you have to fend off the ladies then with you?
Well, I think I was only about 10, so they weren't. They
There
weren't
might have been some girls at school.
fending off with other schoolgirls now.
Of other schoolgirls, were you a schoolgirl at the time?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Sorry. Number 10, to repeat number 10. What was a budget aftershave aftershave by Pfizer, which was promoted with ads including self-defence instructions to help wearers fend off women? It was originally launched in 1967 but became popular with a rise in interest in martial arts in the 1970s. Right, everybody?
Ah,
Yes?
right.
Do we need a repeat of anything?
I'm going to ask them now,
Yeah.
shall I? Yes.
Well, if anybody missed one of the questions, I'll repeat it now. But I'm not going through them all. But just shout out if there's one that you missed.
Let's do Pauline's drink. Not Pauline. Paula's drink. Who's Pauline?
I don't know.
Paula's drink. I'm not even drinking. Right.
You should be. You'd probably be able to get your words out better.
The wine.
I shall fetch my wine.
Paula, get typing. What are you having tonight? We want to know this. It's wine comparing time. So.
See, I'm still on this because it's the one that was on offer at Tesco's with the meal deal.
With the meal deal, yes.
Yes, so I'm on Merlot.
Tell us about the meal deal then. What's that?
Meal deal. So it's £10 for a main course, side, dessert, and a bottle of wine.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's good, yeah. It's Tesco's finest as well, so not only good value, but decent quality. So yes,
indeed. So. Now I was talking to someone earlier on today who likes red wine as well.
Yes.
And she was telling me that there's this wine, it was Toro something or other, from Aldi. She said it's award winning. She said it's really, really good value and it's ever so nice.
Let me make a note of that.
Not that you would ever set foot in Aldi, my sweet. But
I have done.
But I do like going into Aldi and having a look in the middle tat aisle for quiz prizes. Amongst other things. So you could have a drill set or some ski trousers or something. You come on my quiz.
I don't suppose the ski trousers are selling very well, are they? They've got any?
Well, not in this country now.
Well, and people can't go abroad, can they? So
well, it is a bit cold though. I mean, ski trousers.
It's not cold. It's not cold now. It's been lovely this week.
Well,
you haven't stepped outside the house, have you?
I'm too scared.
Oh dear.
Yes.
I've been for my walks. Right,
so we've got some.
Answers?
We've not got a response from Team Peg yet, Paula, regarding the wine. So I think she's either sozzled in the corner or she's forgotten how to type. So I think without any further ado, let's get back onto the.
Oh, hang on, Lynette wants to know what number 6 was. You not look? I'll just scroll down.
I can't see that. Oh, hang on, that's why.
Someone's asking for. Oh, James Hippo's asking 1 to 5. Okay, we'll very briefly go through. I'll very briefly go through the first few. So number 1 was, in which year were all these songs released? Mama, We're All Crazy Now, Superstition, You're So Vain, Walk on the Wild Side, Starman and Virginia Plain. Number 2. Reginald Kenneth Dwight and Pauline Matthews had a UK number 1 hit under different names in 1976. What was it? Number 3. There is only one 1970s studio album in the top 10 best-selling albums of all time in the UK. What is it? Number 4. Which record label, founded in 1979, featured a logo of a man in a black suit, white shirt, black tie, pork pie hat, white socks and black loafers, named Walt Jabsco. Number 5. Which 1970s band comprised Graham, Eric, Kevin and Lol, all multi-instrumentalists, singers, songwriters and producers? And number 6...
Yes, Lynette wanted number 6.
Number 6. Swilled P is the anagram for a common feature of many men's and women's jackets during much of the 1970s. Right. I'll wait 30 seconds and then I'm going to reveal the answers.
Right, we've had some answers in regarding the wine. So Paula has told us that she is on the Hardy Chardonnay. I assume that's white.
It is white Chardonnay, yes. I like a drop of Chardonnay sometimes, yeah.
Steve DeVito is struggling on a couple. Well, you're a young chap, you see, Steve. This is the issue you have here.
But don't worry, because there are questions that
I expect great things of him next week, though, in the 80s. He's an 80s boy. Yes. I've seen his man cave and I'm very jealous of it. It's a man cave to be proud of.
There's a lot of questions there that as we go on that relate to stuff that also crossed over into the 80s. So,
yes. Other news in the drinks round is Lisa and Mark are on Malbec and Estrella.
Oh yes.
So yes, I know Mark favours a nice strong lager every now and again.
I like Malbec.
And And it's fair to say that the people who normally do the best in these quizzes are the people who aren't drinking heavily, isn't that right?
Yes.
The people who normally win. Claire Trudgeon has had so much to drink that she hasn't got a clue what she's drinking.
It doesn't matter, as long as you're having fun, eh?
Oh, Grassy's on the mess again. Graciela, who was on last week, remember?
Yeah.
She was great fun. She's on mess, so there we are.
Okay,
Nice.
whatever floats your boat. Right, okay, I'm going to reveal the answers to round 1 now. So, number 1, the year that Mama We're All Crazy Now, Superstition, You're So Vain, Walk on the Wild Side, Starman and Virginia Plain were all released. That was 1970...
4.
2.
Oh.
1972. Now, if you put 1972, give yourself 1 point. If you put 1 year either way, 1971 or 73, you can have half a point. Feeling very generous.
Our boss is uncharacteristic. Wow.
Number 2. Reginald Kenneth Dwight, aka Elton John, and Pauline Matthews,
aka
Kiki D, had a UK number 1 hit in 1976 with Don't Go Breaking My Heart. Oh,
couldn't if I tried.
So number 2, Don't Go Breaking My Heart. Right, number 3, there is only one 1970 studio album in the top 10 best-selling albums of all time in the UK. What is it? So it's got to be one of 2.
Oh, look at this, props.
Props.
Wow.
It's got to be one of these 2, hasn't it?
The best-selling album in the whole decade?
No. So, the best-selling albums of all time in the UK.
Oh, right, okay.
So, at number 7, so one of them's at number 7 and one of them's at number 11. I asked, there's only one in the top 10
Yes.
from the 70s. So, which one is it? Well, this was at number 11. So, this, Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, at number 7, is the correct answer. Dark Side of the Moon.
And what a classic album that is.
Absolutely. Well, both classic albums.
Yes.
Both brilliant
And
albums.
the sleeve on that is a fantastic, iconic sleeve as well.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
there we are.
Right, number 4, which, and I should actually...
Oh, here we go.
Hang on.
There'll now be a short pause while
There'll be a
Penny
short pause
finds the album.
Where's it gone? Where's it... Oh...
What are you looking for, Penny?
No, can't...
Sorry about this, folks.
Sorry about this, everyone.
Yes.
I was going to get the album. But the record label, founded in 1979, that featured the logo.
Oh, I know that one you're on about.
Two Tone Records.
Mm.
Number 4 is Two Tone Records, which was set up by Jerry Dammers of the Specials in Coventry. And acts included, obviously, the Specials, but also the Selector and Madness and the Beat. Number 5. Which 70s band comprised Graham, Eric, Kevin and Lol? Well, it was Graham Goldman, Eric Stewart, Kevin Godley and Lol Cream.
As in Godley and Cream?
As in Godley and Cream. It was 10cc. The answer we're looking for is 10cc. Yes, Godley and Cream went on to direct videos for the Police, Every Breath You Take, Duran Duran, Girls on Film.
Did they?
Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Did they? Frankie Goes to Hollywood, 2 Tribes. But they were...
Did you say Girls on Film?
Yeah. They were the directors for that.
I wonder if Lynette knew that. She knows all things Duran Duran.
But anyway, the answer to number 5 was 10cc. Right, the anagrams. The anagrams. So, number 6, Swilled P, Wide Lapels. Common feature on many jackets.
I thought that was espadrilles, but yeah, never mind. I couldn't get the W in there.
So, number 6, Wide Lapels. Number 7, the Eel Chocks.
I know. Cheesecloth.
Yeah, cheesecloth, very good. Number 7, cheesecloth. And number 8, fresh matte loops. You
Platform
got that
shoes.
one? Platform shoes.
Ah,
Number 8,
love it.
platform shoes. I'll have to do some more of those.
Good
And
one, that was.
Yeah, what I did, because I was trying to think how to ask the questions about the fashions, in a reasonable way. And I just had the idea, I thought, oh, could I do anagram? So I got the Scrabble tiles out.
Oh, yeah. That's what you were doing with him.
Yeah.
I see. What's someone talking about? Checademus and pliers. But Stevie, what are you talking about? I think he must have got another quiz. Or another planet. I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, anyway, number 9, fragrances. The unfortunately named women's perfume that was launched by Lanfric in 1975. I'm going to say the right words now. Free and friendly, bold and exciting. She's wearing Tramp. And everybody loves her.
I think it would have sold much more if they'd have called it Slapper.
Well,
Myself.
number 9, can you believe it, was Tramp. And that was a popular
Did you
women's
say
fragrance.
free and easy?
Yeah.
That was
Sorry, free and friendly.
Oh, free and friendly.
Free and friendly.
That's what it's done. Just a free and easy, bloody hell. She's wearing prostitute. For the lady who doesn't have to try too hard.
Oh dear. Yes, anyway, number 9, the answer is Tramp. Number 10, the budget aftershave by Pfizer, including self-defence instructions to help wearers fend off women. High Karate.
A classic.
Number 10, High Karate.
I'm gonna do it. I bet they still sell it.
And if Pfizer, if it's the same Pfizer that's doing the
It is,
COVID
it's
jab,
funny, isn't it?
they should have something going on here. Yeah, some marketing, shouldn't they, that links in with High Karate?
Well, they are advertising Brute again with Vinnie Jones.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at this.
What? What?
Fragrance Direct. I've just come up with Fragrance Direct.
Oh, yes.
An online website. High Karate aftershave.
Yes.
Spend £50 and get £5 off. Well, you won't need to do that because it's only $1.99 a bottle.
$1.99 a bottle.
There you go.
I bet people pay more for it back in the 1970s at 1970s prices.
Well,
Cool.
it says here, competed successfully, and I doubt this is true, competed successfully with Old Spice, English Leather and Brute. Wow, I seriously doubt that. Right, anyway, move on.
Well, that was fun, wasn't it? So, do you want the scores, Nigel? Do you want
Yes,
me to put the
they're
scores
already
in
doing
the
it then.
comments? Oh, well, you
I'll
better.
catch up.
You
Hold
better.
on.
Right, DJ Nigel is ably assisting me by making a note of your scores, so do let us know your scores so far. Yes, our next round is going to be on brands and advertising, yes. What should we talk about? So while DJ Nigel's taking a note of all the scores, I will just mention, as I started to mention, that next Friday is DJ Nigel's Back to the 80s quiz. Same time, same place, so that's going to be fun. There is an awful lot of interest for this quiz. I mean, just loads of people.
I think people are getting drawn into it because they've heard about the fantastic prizes that I give away on my quizzes.
See, maybe I should be having prizes.
Well, I'm not above a
maybe
little bit of bribery, you see. This is how it is.
See. And then,
Joe the Lady, 9.5. Wow.
oh, that's excellent. And then on Saturday, the 6th of March, we've got our 60s, 70s and 80s live stream disco, which will be on YouTube, but there will be a link on our Vinyl Revival Facebook page. So you can check us out anyway on YouTube. We are Vinyl, well, I don't know why, but we're Vinyl Revival DJ. There's 2 of us, but we're just Vinyl Revival DJ. On YouTube, that's our channel. And are you getting rid of me? That's our YouTube channel, so you can subscribe to us, and then you'll see the stuff on there anyway. But yes, the 60s, 70s, and 80s live stream disco will be on YouTube on Saturday, the 6th of March. But we will have a link on our Final Revival page. So, and then I'll be doing a retro music quiz on the 12th of March, Friday the 12th of March, and just keep liking us and following us, and then you'll know all the events that's coming up. Right, how are you doing with the scores?
I'm doing with the scores. They're coming in thick and fast, and Samantha Price 6 with the dog there. Right, so Daisy the dog. 6. Daisy's obviously got 1. Daisy's obviously got 5, and Sam's obviously got 1. Mark Griffiths, who is a guitarist, I noticed in the week. Yes. Very impressive. I like people who are guitarists. Linda, can you have Linda to a list of teams I scored? 7. Linda, okay. Linda.
Some good scores.
Linda Locker. 7. Yes, there are some good scores. There's quite a big grouping of scores. Let's put Amanda in there, our friend Amanda.
And of course it's all fun, so even if you haven't scored very highly, as long as you're enjoying yourselves, that's what really matters.
Yes, there's been calls for High Karate to be next week's star prize, so seriously giving that some thought then, Joe the lady, definitely. Margaret has got 4.5, so she's not got 0.
Margaret,
that's good news.
That's good.
Yes, that's good news. Alison, where are you, Alison?
Right, I shall proceed with round 2 momentarily.
Just a second. Graziella still likes the smell of High Karate.
Oh.
That will be Stevie's birthday present, no doubt, or Father's Day, be Christmas present maybe later on in the year. Jane Roger, who always guesses uncannily. She's either got very fast fingers on Google or she's very, very good at this. She always guesses the tiebreaker, doesn't she?
Yes.
Let me just put Jane on the list. Everyone's congratulated Margaret. Yes, let's all give Margaret some likes and some hearts. I'm going to start us off with some likes because we like Margaret. We like both Margarets actually. Both Margarets from Scotland. Team of Margarets, as we call them. I think that's.
Is that yes. You can pick any others up. So let's know what the.
Of course, I forgot about Phil's birthday. Of course, it's Phil's birthday.
Of course, Phil.
Yes.
Phil, happy birthday.
So let's do the birthday. So it's Tim.
Our old mate.
Yes, it's Tim from the East Wing. Joe the lady's other half. Who is allowed in from the East Wing. It's his birthday soon. Stacey from Print Pad Designs, who sent us the mugs.
Designs. Oh yes, the mugs.
Yeah, it's her birthday, and she's going to be doing a little birthday party online. Watching the 80s quiz next week. And it's Phil Hartley's birthday, 54. So, right.
Happy birthday, Stacey. Happy birthday, Phil.
There's a load of people on 8s and 9s.
Oh, right.
So I'll just quickly highlight a few people. So Dave Ricketts, Griff, Stephen Doty, Paul Kie, Stephen Gratz, Alice is on 8.5. The dog Dolly has helped out there. And
Daisy.
Dolly, Alice and Dolly.
Right.
Daisy is someone else. You get your dogs mixed up here.
Yeah,
so
right.
there's numerous dogs. Yeah, there's numerous dogs.
Oh.
Then we've got Andy and Ness up in Tamworth on 9. Jane, who always guesses the tiebreaker, also on 9. Lynette and Perry. These are all people who always do well. They're all on 9.
Yes.
But surprise is that Joe the lady and Tim are on 9.5. They've only dropped half a point. So they must have guessed the year out. I'm thinking. So that's your lead.
Wow, welcome
so
Joe
far.
the lady and Tim. Excellent. Right, I'm going to crack on with round 2.
Yes.
Which is 1970s brands and advertising. So I've got some slogans, dialogue or lyrics from some classic TV adverts from the 1970s. So what I want to know is, what is the product? What's the brand? So this is easy, the first one. Dad, do you know the piano's on my foot? You own it, son. I'll play it. See, it's just like the lyrics sound, isn't it? Only I am saying it properly.
Yes, this makes a change.
So that's number 1. Dad, do you know the piano's on my foot? You own it, son. I'll play it. Number 2, she flies like a bird in the sky. Which is actually from the song I Can't Let Maggie Go. So the lyrics are, she flies like a bird in the sky, from the song I Can't Let Maggie Go. But what product, what brand is being advertised? Number 3, and this is very sexist, I have to say, and the adverts were too. The margarine for men. But that was the 70s for you. So that's number 3, the margarine for men. What was it? Number 4, anytime, any place, anywhere. There's a wonderful world you can share. Oh. Sounds idyllic. That's number 4. Oh, sorry. DJ Nigel?
I've just put a little reminder on. I'm still missing scores from 3 teams. So
okay.
I'll put it in the comments if you have a look.
Right, so number 4, to repeat, anytime, any place, anywhere. There's a wonderful world you can share. Number 5, every bubble's past its physical. That's number 5, every bubble's past its physical. Number 6, I bet he drinks.
You watch, they're all shouting at the screen. Yeah. You can shout to the screen, no one can hear you.
That's number 6, I bet he drinks. Number 7, I liked the shaver so much I bought the company.
Are you going to say who it was who bought the company? Or is it going to give that away?
No, he won't give it away because the company already existed before he bought it, so it's not his name in the company. It was, well, his full name, Victor Kermit Kayam
Really?
II.
Kermit? Oh, what a great middle name.
So that's number 7. I liked the shaver so much I bought the company. Victor Kermit Kayam II said this, but what was the company?
What a great middle name. I love that. We should have thought about that when we...
For our son. You wanted to call him Kirk, didn't you?
Yes.
He wasn't called Kirk.
James Tiberius.
Number 8. Is she or isn't she? Yes, she is wearing a hairspray.
I have to say, a lot of these are aimed more at the female
Hang on,
audience.
the last one was a shaver.
Oh, yeah. Well, lady shave.
And I bet he drinks, and the margarine for men.
Oh, right, yes. Okay. All right, I stand corrected. Fair enough, carry on.
See ya. So number 8, is she or isn't she? Yes, she is wearing a hairspray. And number 9, because they're not all for women at all, good, rich and thick, a milk chocolate brick. Number 9, good, rich and thick, a milk chocolate brick. And finally for this round, number 10, and all because the lady loves...
What?
That's indicating 2 words.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Number 10, and all because the lady loves.
That was going to be physiotherapy then.
I might need some physio, mightn't I? I've got a bad shoulder.
Frozen shoulder, haven't you?
Well, it's not frozen now, I think it's an impingement.
Oh, yeah.
I had one in my left shoulder, now I think I've got one in my right.
Oh, well.
Just feeling things out. Right.
Yes. Now, does anybody want any questions repeating?
Any repeats?
So shout up if you do. And what should we talk about, Pen?
What would you like to talk about, Nige?
It was your quiz, I suppose.
How fabulous the 70s were.
How you do? Yes. I'll just tell people that that I was sent on a mission to deliver the prize from the rock
from
music quiz to Morrison's.
From DJ Ozzy's.
Yes, from
rock
DJ
quiz.
Ozzy's, and yes, I had to go to Morrison's in Sturchley.
Yes, and you got some shopping at the same time.
I decided to get some shopping at the same time. A very,
yes.
very good shop.
Yes.
There are other shops available, but this is a very good shop. And yeah, I was quite impressed with the the range of cheese that they've got there.
Oh yes, we've got some for later because
it's cheese. Nice.
we always have cheese and biscuits afterwards.
Yes,
So
it's become a bit of a tradition.
Our little routine. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right, should we get on with the answers for this round?
Well, Jane Rogers already said how many she's got. I don't know if she knows that.
No, it's question 5.
Oh, sorry,
It's
question 5. So that's not how many she's got. She's asking question 5. Right.
Okay, question 5. Every bubble's past its physical.
Yes, Margaret said the best customer service in Morrison's. Well, I know why you're saying that, Margaret, because Lynette works there, and it did take a bit of an age for her to come to the customer services desk, and there was 2 tannoy announcements, and I was looked at very strangely by some woman who was trying to buy some cigarettes because I dared to stand too close to the customer services desk, and she wanted to sort of get by.
Oh, you needed to step back a bit.
And she said, "Are you waiting to buy some fags?"
Which he wasn't, because he doesn't smoke,
and I'm like,
neither do I.
No. Oh, Gary's asked the question 9.
Question 9. Good, rich and thick. A milk chocolate brick. I just saw that. Margaret, was she running in the opposite direction?
I think she was skiving, actually, because she came downstairs and from the office where she was working, supposedly, and yeah, wandered across, waving frantically like some some woman possessed. She was very excited to get her hands on the Despicable Me DVD.
Ah, marvellous,
yes.
Marvellous stuff. Right, I think it's time for the answers. Answers time to round 2. So, number 1, Dad, do you know the piano's on my foot? You on it, son. I'll play it. Was PG Tips. Book on PG Tips. And my initials, my maiden initials were PG, so it was a bit of a nickname for me at one stage, PG Tips. Or maybe it was because I looked like a chimpanzee, I don't know. So number 1, PG Tips. Number 2, she flies like a bird in the sky. Nimble. Nimble bread. Number 3, the margarine for men was Flora. Number 3, Flora. So you got your cup of tea and you got some bread and some margarine. Isn't that a nice start to the day? Right, we're going on a bit later on in the day now because, well, although really, according to the slogan, anytime, any place, anywhere, it could be any time, couldn't it? But there's a wonderful world you can share. Martini. Number 4, martini. Number 5, every bubble's past its physical. That is Corona. Number 5, Corona, soft drinks. Number 6, I bet he drinks Carling Black Label. Number 6, Carling Black Label. Number 7, Victor Kermit Khayyam II said, I liked the shaver so much I bought the company. That company was Remington. Number 7, Remington. Number 8, is she or isn't she? Yes, she is wearing a hairspray, and that would be Harmony hairspray. So number 8 is Harmony. Number 9, good, rich and thick, a milk chocolate brick. Well, it was made by Roundtrees, and it was an alternative to Cadbury's Dairy Milk that was aimed at men. Yorkie. Number 9, Yorkie. And number 10, and all because the lady loves milk tray. And I do. Number 10, milk tray.
What's not to love?
Right, let us know just your scores for this round, because DJ Nigel can do the touching up, otherwise it gets very complicated, doesn't
All right,
it?
yes, I'll have
So just put your scores for round 2.
Go on then. Oh, answer for number 3.
Number 3, Flora. Flora margarine.
Flora margarine, there you go, Andy. Oh, 10 out of 10 for Phil.
Ooh,
That's
wow.
good, isn't it?
Right. I'll top up my wine, I think, while we have this little interlude. If you need to pop and get yourselves a drink, or
Pop to the loo.
Pop to the loo, or as DJ Nigel just had to, or get yourselves some refreshments. We'll have a couple of minutes or so before we get underway with round 3.
Incidentally,
Yes.
Steve and Graziella have got a name for their house. You know how you get like Seaview Cottage in Birmingham?
Yes.
Things like that. People
Seaview Cottage in Birmingham.
Well, I work for Royal Navy, so I happen to know there's a lot of Seaview cottages in Birmingham. People have ironically named, yes, that's what they do. But no, Stevie DeVito and Gratz have renamed their house Shack Attack House. Oh, that's really cool.
Very good.
Oh dear me. Margaret has upped her run rate here from 4.5 to 5.
Oh, Margaret, you're doing well this week.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes. At this rate, we can't say our usual catchphrase about Margaret. It won't be appropriate. Oh, Phil and Julie and Scamp doing a good score there.
So, right, yes, we'll let DJ Nigel continue with the getting the scores in.
Indeed.
We're going to be going on to consumer products and toys and the high street and all that sort of thing for round 3. And round 4 is going to be television. And I have got a frog in my throat.
Whoa, there's a lot of 10s coming in for this
Oh,
round. There's all these
there you
people.
go.
Remember these adverts? It's sort of
Well,
good round, that was.
a lot of them carried on into the 80s and beyond, didn't they? So, So, yeah, that's what I said when I was putting the quiz together and sort of advertising it on previous events. I've said, obviously it helps if you're there in the 70s, if you remember the 70s, but a lot of this stuff you'll know if you remember the 80s better, because a lot of it was still around then.
It was indeed.
Yes.
And in answer to your question, Phil, no, I haven't got a spreadsheet. I'm using a piece of paper.
It's a retro
It's a
quiz,
That's the whole idea
yes.
of this.
Oh, yes.
Lionel. Hello, Lionel. Didn't notice you there. And I'm making sure that I'm capturing your score this week. I had complaints off Lionel last time.
Yes.
I missed off a whole round of his scores and made him out to look that he wasn't as good as he was. But, all is well this week, Lionel. Don't fear. 7, 14, Lynette and Perry, 9, that's 18, that's a good score. Oh, Griff has got 10 out of 10, that's fantastic.
Doesn't get any better.
James, you see, the thing is, James, you weren't around in the 70s, so you wouldn't have seen these adverts.
But you can watch a load of them on YouTube. When I was actually compiling, because I did an adverts round in the previous 70s quiz last month, and before I did it, I was watching loads of YouTube videos of 1970s adverts. And each time like a little memorable phrase or whatever came along, I thought, oh, what? I'm going to make a note of that. So I spent hours doing it.
Yes.
But it's all worth it, isn't it? It's a bit of entertainment on a Friday night, which is what we need. We need a bit of fun.
Yes, I'm still missing a few scores, folks. So Alison, Stacey and Colin, Lisa Titchmarch, Margaret Rennie, Leslie. Yes,
Lisa did well last time.
She did, yes, and no, that was a different Lisa. That was Lisa Street.
No.
Oh,
I've made a note.
Oh, Lisa
no, on my last
Oh, on
quiz,
yours, yes,
yes,
she would have
Lisa
done.
did very well.
Yeah. Okay.
And Phil and Bev, they were both joint third.
Joe the Lady, I haven't got your. Oh, Lisa's come in with a 10.
Andy and Vanessa were second, and Lynette and Perry were first.
So Joe the Lady, who was the winner in round one, I haven't had yours yet. So we've got quite a few with full scores. Right. So Phil and Bev have got full scores. Paul Keir has got full scores. Lisa and Mark, Griff, Jane Cooper, Dave, Dave and Julie, I think it is, and Lisa have just come in with a 10. So that's great. So that means our leaderboard looks like this. We've got, where are we? We've got several people on 18. So we've got Lynette and Perry on 18. We have got Paul Keir on 18. Andy and Vanessa on 18. But in the lead, the leaderboard has changed. It was, who was it? It was Joe the Lady in round one. It is now Griff. Mark Griffiths is our leader as of round 2. So
what's
there
he
we
got?
are. He's got 19.
19.
He's only dropped one point so far.
Well done, Griff.
Oh, thanks, Margaret. I've got yours 8. Cheers. And Joe the Lady has come in with a 7. She's a bit young, really, to be knowing adverts from the 70s. So well done on getting
Amanda's
the 7.
saying that the 70s was an amazing decade to be a teenager. Absolutely, absolutely. I was a teenager for part of the time, but it was.
You see, I can't remember whether we had a telly or we did have a telly. It was a black and white one.
Black and white. I don't think we got a colour telly until about 78, I think.
Yeah.
But I remember I think the first programme we watched was the Generation Game. It was like all the colours of the set is like, wow.
What, Anthea Redfern's dress?
Yeah.
You just thought it was grey. It was actually blue.
It was amazing. It was fabulous having colour TV after.
Right, I've got the scores, done the leaderboard. We are
right,
where we are.
Right. Are we ready for round 3?
Yes,
they all cry. Right, round 3. So this is toys, the high street. And got a couple of questions on cars, even though I know nothing about cars. So I hope I've got phrased them correctly. Right, are you there, DJ?
I'll just turn the heating down. It's like a blooming sauna in here.
I said it was warm.
It's got warm outside. Right.
Right, okay. Round 3, question 1. What iconic arcade game, one of the earliest shooter games, was launched in 1978. Adjusted for inflation, the many versions of the game are estimated to have grossed over $13 billion as of 2016, making it the highest grossing video game of all time. So really, this is one, if you were there in the 80s, you're going to know. And if you weren't there in the 70s or 80s, you could have a good guess, can't you? So that's number 1. What iconic arcade game, one of the earliest shooter games, was launched in 1978? Adjusted for inflation, the many versions of the game are estimated to have grossed over $13 billion in total revenue as of 2016, making it the highest grossing video game of all time. He's looking gone out.
It's not Call of Duty then.
No, it was an arcade game. They used that.
70s.
Well, it was launched in the 70s, but it was big in the 80s. I think they had one in Snobs.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. So they had them in nightclubs.
I don't remember any arcade games being in any nightclubs.
Oh, they did have in Snobs, yeah. Yeah. Okay, question number 2.
Remember there was a fish tank in one nightclub, which I always thought was a bit dodgy because a fish must have been swimming in bloody beer by the end of it.
That's cruelty to
I
animals,
know,
that
it's
is.
terrible, isn't it?
Oh dear. Anyway, question number 2. From 1972 until 1980, British toy manufacturer Palitoy produced a 6.5-inch pocket-sized fashion doll. The pocket money fashion doll that puts fashion in your pocket. She had numerous friends, fashions, an apartment, a car, and even her own hair salon. What was her name? So that's question number 2. From 1972 until 1980, British toy manufacturer Palitoy produced a 6.5-inch pocket-sized fashion doll. The pocket money fashion doll that puts fashion in your pocket. She had numerous friends, fashions, etc. What was her name? Apparently she even had a friend called Penny. I don't remember that. Question number 3. What were the steerable stunt kites called that won the Toy of the Year in 1976? I do remember we did get a kite. In fact, I think that was the year, 1976. I think that was the year when I got the cheesecloth shirt.
Was the kite made out of a cheesecloth shirt?
When we went to Wales. No, but I remember my dad was very keen to get a kite. This is actually a continuation with you because you like kites, don't you?
I like kites.
It's
yes.
always
I'm not
me who
averse to a kite.
has to go and retrieve it when it's crash landed.
Well, I can't be at both ends of the string pen. I can't be the launcher and the
But you shouldn't be
controller of
crashing
the
it in
kite.
the first place.
Well, it's in the elements, isn't it? You can't.
No,
You know,
if you stunt kites, you should
keep it up in the air
keep it
forever.
up in the air, yeah, until you're ready to come down.
Right.
Anyway, number 3. What were the steerable stunt kites called that won the Toy of the Year in 1976? Number 4. Which puzzle was invented by an architecture professor in 1974 who saw it as a piece of art before it was marketed as a toy? It went on to win the UK Toy Retailers Association's Toy of the Year award in 1980 and 1981. So it's a 70s quiz, but if you know your 80s, you're going to know the answer to this. That's to repeat question 4. Which puzzle was invented by an architecture professor in 1974 who saw it as a piece of art before it was marketed as a toy? It went on to win the UK Toy Retailer Association's Toy of the Year award in 1980 and in 1981. I should have got the plot down, shouldn't I?
It's not going to be Buckaroo then.
No. It's not really a piece of art, is it? Right. Question 5. We're going on to the high street now. Question number 5. And again, I'm giving a bit of a clue for people who know the 80s more than the 70s. The iconic tennis girl poster from 1976.
Now you're talking. Way.
And the L'Enfant, or Man and Baby poster from 1987 were sold through which British art retailer?
My mum wouldn't let me have that poster on the
Would she not?
No. It was wrong bidding. Very upset about that.
Oh,
It's my bedroom.
that's number 5. The iconic tennis girl poster from 1976 and the L'Enfant, or Man and Baby poster from 1987 were sold through which British art retailer? Apparently it's still going online, the company,
Yes, I understand it is.
but no longer on the high street.
No. It's of its day.
Yeah, but people people still like...
Yeah, but they're going to buy posters online, aren't they? They're not going to
Well,
go to
yeah.
a shop
Yes.
and look round through posters. It's a very boring thing to do.
But, no, I don't think so.
Yes, Stevie is right. She was from Brum, the tennis girl.
Oh, was she?
Yes, she was. Because
Yes.
Jules and Carl, who live up the road there, I told you, they were the marketing people, or they were the founders of this shop brand that you're referring to in that tennis poster question.
Oh.
So, yes. So that all makes sense.
Right, okay, yeah, right. Question number 6. Now, DJ Nigel thought thinks there's several answers to this, so I've tried to phrase it a bit better so to sort of hone into the particular one. Which high street store was founded in 1930 in Brighton, catering for the growing demand for a particular piece of domestic equipment before expanding to include televisions and video cassette recorders? At its peak, it claimed to have more than 2 million customers and over 500 shops and service centres across the UK. The company started to lose business once such consumer electronics products became more reliable and cheaper to buy.
And I rented a CD player from said shop.
Ah, did you?
I did.
Did you?
I did.
I think
because they were very expensive, a Philips one as I recall, and I of course bought Dire Straits Brothers in Arms, as well as I think it was
Bowie changes one.
No.
Sade.
No.
When we met, we well not.
I had 3 CDs.
No, we had 3 CDs that were the same. So the one was Dire Straits Brothers in Arms.
Oh yes.
David Bowie changes one.
Yes.
And Sade.
Smooth Operator.
Diamond
Life. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, no, it wasn't any of those. It was, in fact, John Michel Jar. I was going through my John Michel Jar. Yes, Oxygen. Yes, yeah.
So to repeat, number 6. Which high street store was founded in 1930 in Brighton, catering for the growing demand for a particular piece of domestic equipment, before expanding to include televisions and video cassette recorders? At its peak, it claimed to have over 2 million customers and over 500 shops and service centres across the UK. The company started to lose business once such consumer electronic products became more reliable and cheaper to buy. So they weren't in the business of selling them, were they?
No, definitely not.
And apparently, they had a newspaper advert for a long play video recorder which mocked a national obsession with the ITV soap opera Crossroads. How can you mock Crossroads?
Quite easily.
Known for its wobbly sets and criticised for the standard of its acting, it says here.
Wow. Yeah.
So apparently the newspaper advert said, it can take 16 episodes of Crossroads if you can. And let me say, being from Birmingham...
Imagine watching Crossroads. Oh.
Being from Birmingham, I went to school with the sister from Benny from Crossroads.
There you go, your Benny story.
My Benny story.
Everyone's heard this about a billion times.
Some of the newcomers might not have.
There are any newcomers now. Or regulars.
Number seven. The big 4 banks in England and Wales. So sorry for the Margaret's up in Scotland, I'm sorry. But the big 4 banks in England and Wales in the 1970s and the 1980s were Barclays, Lloyds, NatWest and which other? Its logo was a golden griffin surrounded by golden coins on a dark background, and its slogan was the Listening Bank.
Samantha saying you're a name dropper for going to school with Benny's sister.
Benny's sister, no?
Wow, yeah. I played a round of golf on Benny's golf club once.
I went to no, I've not been there. But I went to Andy Gray's nightclub.
Oh yes, did you?
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
that's nice of you.
Holy City Zoo. That's football though, not acting, is it?
Well, depends which team we're talking about.
Well,
Birmingham City is acting.
No, he was a Villa player at the time. Right, okay. So to repeat number 7, the big 4 banks in England and Wales in the 1970s and the 1980s were Barclays, Lloyds, NatWest and which other? Its logo was a golden griffin surrounded by golden coins on a dark background, and its slogan was the Listening Bank. Right, number 8. This has been in the news actually, sort of retrospectively, but when was Decimal Day in the UK and in Ireland? So I want the full date. The day, the month and the year, please. When was Decimal Day in the UK and in Ireland?
Here's a little known fact that we all know. Margaret was on GMTV with Mr. Motivator.
Oh, Margaret, so that.
Wow. Bloody hell.
Oh, have you got a video of it?
We've done that one.
Oh, that'd be great.
You weren't the Green Goddess in another life, were you, Margaret? To see what's going on here.
Oh.
Leotard on.
Wow. Right, number 9. Now, I did say there'd be some cars, and I don't drive. I know nothing about cars. I like to be driven around in them, but other than that, DJ Nigel is my parker.
Yes. Thank you, Lady Penelope. Wish be lady.
What was the UK's best-selling car of the 1970s? Simple as that. Number
Hold on,
9.
you gave another clue about some
That's when you were struggling to get it.
seaside resort it was named after.
Not a seaside resort.
Oh.
An Italian ski resort.
Italian ski resort.
So what was the UK's best-selling car of the 1970s? It was named after an Italian ski resort. See, that's making it too easy now.
Well, they're all coming out the woodwork now. Big TV shows people have been on.
Oh, right.
Dev's been on with Toya Wilcox and Pauline Black on a TV show.
Oh, wow.
Whoa,
Ooh. That's impressive. Talking about Toya Wilcox, we've been watching
Sunday Lunch.
Yeah.
Oh, she's funny.
Oh.
And I'll tell you what, Robert Fripp, his face is just a picture. Isn't it? If you go on YouTube and you do Toya's Sunday Lunch, or just
Toya and Robert.
Toya and Robert's Sunday Lunch,
Sunday
they
lunch.
do these little funny videos from their kitchen, and they're just brilliant.
So music videos where
covers of songs.
covers of song where Robert Fripp of
King
King Crimson is playing the guitar and Toya's singing. They're just so funny, so funny. Absolutely crazy, really. But yeah, very entertaining. And again, you know, this is what we need, isn't it, to get us through the lockdown and all the trials and tribulations. Anyway, number 10, last one for round 3. Which small family car was manufactured by the Austin Morris division of British Leyland? Remember that, British Leyland. From 1973 until 1982. It was rushed into production as a replacement for the Austin 1100 and was considered by some to be the worst car ever made. Didn't you have one?
I did have one, yeah.
The car's bulbous lines, the ugly quartic steering wheel of the original models, and the performance and reliability left a lot to be desired.
Never let me down.
Well, you got rid
testament to British engineering, that car was.
You got rid of it by the time I met you.
Yes. We've had a request for question 8. Repeat of question 8.
I'll just repeat question 10 again, as I will say them twice, and then I'll go to 8. So number 10, which small family car was manufactured by the Austin Morris division of British Leyland from 1973 until 1982? It was rushed into production as a replacement for the Austin 1100 and was considered by some to be the worst car ever made. The car's bulbous lines, the ugly quartic steering wheel of the original models, and the performance and reliability left a lot to be desired. Question number 8 to repeat. When was Decimal Day in the UK and in Ireland? It was the same date. So I want to know the day, the month and the year, please. Decimal Day. The day that decimal currency came in. We switched from pounds, shilling and pence to just pounds and pence.
I had the best colour of that particular car in question 10 that they ever did. They did brown, which was, you know...
You had a brown Metro, didn't you?
But no, I had an orange version of this.
Orange. Oh, and how 70s. And, you can't get more 70s than orange, can you? For
the benefit of Samantha...
For the benefit of...
oh, yes.
Those are a bit sort of... They're tan, really, are they, rather than orange?
They are. So, for the benefit of Samantha, she's asked about question 10. It's the worst car of the...
considered by many.
What?
by some to be the worst car. But it was manufactured by British Leyland, by the Austin Morris division of British Leyland from 73 until 82, and a replacement for the Austin 1100.
To be honest with you, there's quite a few British Leyland cars that would fall into a league table of those kind of cars.
Right, okay,
terrible cars.
Well, but the Quartic steering wheel is the giveaway. If you know the Quartic steering wheel, only one car has a Quartic steering wheel. Is that right?
I believe so.
Yes.
Mine.
Did you also have
mine
one?
had a round steering wheel. Mine was a later model.
So the Quartic steering wheel
1979
was a sort of squared one, wasn't it? It was a rounded square, if you like.
Yes.
Would it be sort of... I'm going to try and draw one now.
I'm going to try and draw the car then.
Not the whole car. No.
It's a clue and a half, that is. Yes, it had rounded corners. Very odd.
Yeah, sort of, yeah. Well, the round bit isn't so, but sort of, yeah. So sort of square but rounded. I mean, it must... Yeah. I don't drive, it must have been pretty difficult to handle smoothly.
Yes, very, very odd. But very odd.
Are we ready for the answers?
Yes, they cry.
We are ready for the answers. Right, yeah. So, round 3 answers. Number 1, the arcade game, the best highest grossing video game of all time, and they had them in snobs, as I recall. Space Invaders.
Yes, of course.
Space Invaders.
Now, I'll tell you why I think they had them in snobs now, because they used
you remember now, do you?
Well, I do remember them in some pubs, because they used to have them as tables. So you would have like a glass top, and you'd put your drinks down on it, and then you'd be able to play this game, and it was an actual pub table. It wasn't like one that you'd stand up against. It was one that you sat down, and it was you had people either end and playing this on a table. Very, very, very odd thing that, you know.
Well, the thing is, you see, and this is the point of these quizzes. Well, one of the sides of the point, one of the points of the quizzes.
What is the point of this quiz?
No idea. It's a reminiscing, isn't it?
Yes.
It's reminiscing.
It is a reminiscing quiz.
It's these things you've forgotten about, or whatever. Anyway, number 2. From 72 until 1980, Palatoy produced a 6.5-inch pocket-sized fashion doll. Her name was Pippa. So number 2, Pippa. She had various friends. Initially, Marie, Tammy and Brit were her friends, but later she had Jasmine, Mandy, Gail, Emma, Rosemary, Penny, and she had a boyfriend called Pete. But the answer to number 2 is Pippa. Number 3, the steerable stunt kites were Peter Powell kites. Number 3, not Peter Purvis kites.
Peter Purvis kites. All we can be saying Peter Purvis kites. Bit of a sideline for his Blue Peter job.
But these were Peter Powell kites. That's the answer you're looking for. And
or Peter Pervert, as my dad used to
call
him. My dad was ahead of his time, I'm sure he called him out.
Nothing's been...
Well, they said that about a lot of other people, didn't they?
Well, anyway, we shall move on.
Yes, leave John Oakes out of it.
We should move on. Number 4, the puzzle invented by an architecture professor in 1974, which went on to be Toy of the Year in 1980 and 1981, was the Rubik's Cube.
Yes.
No, number 4, Rubik's Cube. Number 5, the tennis girl poster and the man and baby poster were sold through Athena. Number 5, Athena. Number 6, the high street store that catered for the growing demand for a particular piece of domestic equipment. That piece at the time was the radio, but then they expanded to include televisions, first black and white, then colour, and also video cassette recorders and also CD players.
Yes.
Yes, but they became, they started losing trade when people started to buy these goods because they became more reliable rather than renting them. So the answer is radio rentals. So that's number 6, radio rentals. Number 7, the big 4 banks were Barclays, Lloyds, NatWest and Midlands Bank. So number 7, the answer is Midlands Bank. Number 8, decimal day in the UK and in Ireland. For if you want 1 point, you've got to get the whole. You've got to get it exactly. It's it was the 15th of February 1971. So for 1 point, 15th of February 1971. If you put 1971, give yourself half a point.
Well, that's really generous.
So generous.
Yes.
So generous. Number 9. The UK's best-selling car of the 1970s was the Ford Cortina. So that's number 9, the Ford Cortina, which was replaced by the Ford Sierra.
Correct, it
in
was.
1982.
Yes.
It was named after the ski resort Cortina d'Ampezzo, which was the site of the 1956 Winter Olympics.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Oh.
It was the best-selling car for 9 out of 10 years between 1972 and 1981, narrowly being outsold by the Ford Escort in 1976. The Ford Escort was the second best-selling car of the 70s. Number 10. So there's your top car. At the other end of the scale, the small family car manufactured by the Austin Morris division of British Leyland with the Quartic steering wheel was the Austin Allegro. Number 10 was the Austin Allegro.
Allegro.
That's what I said?
Allegro, you said.
Allegro.
Question 5 and 6 again. Answers,
The answers.
Please. Yeah.
Number 5, Athena. As in the Greek goddess, Athena, that was the British art retailer. And number 6, radio rentals. Number 6, radio rentals.
Bloody hell, Paul Keogh, your dad went down in the car station.
Oh dear.
He went from a Cortina to an Avenger to an Allegro. Oh, bloody hell, what was he thinking? Did he fall on hard times or something?
Oh dear.
Oh, man, my goodness.
Oh, well. Now, while you're putting your scores in, can you remember, this? There's no points for this, but you can put your answers in the comments. Can you remember, on the subject of British Leyland, who the union convener was at the British Leyland Longbridge plant in Birmingham? His real name was Derek Robinson, but what was he better known as?
Are you asking for this in the comments? Or?
In the comments, yeah.
Put it in the comments.
Yeah, put it in the comments. There's no points for this one. But how was Derek Robinson, the union convener at British Leyland's Longbridge plant in Birmingham, better known? Oh yes, they've all got it. They've all got it, yes. Red Robbo. Red Robbo. Apparently he worked his way up from the shop floor to be the union convener for the Longbridge plant. With his network of representatives in 42 different Leyland plants around the country, he led a long-running campaign of strikes around the company, which he argued were in protest at mismanagement, leading 523 walkouts just at Leyland's Birmingham plant during a 30-month period. In 1975, British Leyland became bankrupt and was nationalised by the government. But you could say, OK, he was part of the issue, but you could also say coming up with cars like the Austin Allegro didn't help them, did it?
Well, I think, yeah.
They were already on their knees.
Well, you see, they had the Mini, which was very popular, and you know,
yes,
they sold that to BMW, which obviously,
yes.
There you go.
So yeah, became bankrupt, was nationalised. The new managing director, Michael Edwards, was appointed in 1977. He aimed to find a resolution to the ongoing industrial disputes and turn the company around. Robinson, for his part, supported the development of a policy of participation in which conveners and stewards would work together with company management. Oh, there you go. So, oh yes, we were talking about, while you're getting you marks, and what were we talking about? Oh yeah, radio rentals, yes. So do you remember when your TVs were always breaking down? So you rented the TV because they were so unreliable to buy at the time.
Yes.
So yeah, we used to rent. Well, we used to rent a black and white TV, and then we upgraded to a colour one. That was just so exciting, so exciting. And then of course you had, and this came up in the previous quiz, where you had the well, obviously you got your test card picture of the girl with her ragdoll and the noughts and crosses chalkboard, but then you also had the trade test colour films, so the engineers could tune in your TV. Sometimes they managed it, sometimes they didn't. You'd have all the ghosting. Remember the ghosting?
Yeah.
They used, yeah. So
he was making up his own scoring here. He's 7.3. I don't know what he's talking about.
7.8. If you got Phil, if you got 1971, you can have half a point for that. For the decimal day. So for a full point, you need the 15th of February 1971. But if you just put 1971, give yourself half a point.
Mm-hmm. So there was Red Robbo, who was around for the car industry, and then you got Mad Arthur Scargill, who was around
the
miners. So they were both sort of power crazy. And then in Czechoslovakia, remember him? You got Lech Wałęsa.
No, that's Poland.
Lech
Wałęsa.
But
he led the fight for liberation, didn't he?
Yes.
And, so
he did indeed.
Yes.
Right, so I've got nearly all the scores in. I'm just missing Sam and Daisy's score, and Linda Locker's, James Hitwell's, Gary and Jane. I don't know if I've got Gary and Jane's in.
Well, we're running late again, as we always do with my quizzes. Apologies, but I hope you're having fun, everyone.
So the scores that I've got in, I've got so the winners of the round. I've got 3 people on 9 for the round.
Yeah.
So Lynette and Perry got 9. Phil, Julian Scamp got 9. And Paul Kier got 9, so well done. And also Griff got 9. So that means that where are we? That person is in the lead, closely followed by these two. So in equal second place, we've got Paul Kier and Lynette and Perry, but still in the lead after 3 rounds is Griff. So congratulations, Griff, you're in the lead going into the last round.
Well done.
So Gary's got 5. Let me add Gary's score in. 5, so it takes you up to 21, I think, if I got my maths right. Linda has got 7.5, and then Sam and Daisy has got 3. Where's Sam and Daisy gone?
Right.
There they are. 3.
Okay, well you can
13.
keep adding them in, and I'll get on with our final round, shall I?
Yes.
Thank you everybody for joining us. We do enjoy your company, we enjoy the banter. And we hope you can join us for more quizzes and for our live stream music events. Just keep following us on Facebook and you'll know what's going on.
Tell your friends as well. You know,
Tell your
it's
friends,
free.
yeah,
Don't,
the more,
you know,
there we are.
there's no charge for all this.
Yes,
so,
it's all free. We just,
nothing to lose.
want to, just have a bit of fun during
fun on a Friday
lockdown
night,
and
don't we?
Friday night. Yes, absolutely. Right, our final round is 1970s television. How much do you remember of it? A lot of these programmes did continue into the 1980s and beyond, or were repeated, so hopefully you're going to know a lot of these. Right, the first one is, I'm sure you're all going to get this one. Which Hanna-Barbera animated character first appeared on UK television in 1970, having debuted in the US the previous year? At the end of each show, the villain would usually say some variation of, and I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids. So who's the character? Not the villain, but the main character. That the show is called after. So that's number one. Which Hanna-Barbera animated character first appeared on UK television in 1970, having debuted in the US the previous year? At the end of each show, the villain would usually say some variation of, and I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids. Number two. Which BBC sitcom, written by Ray Galton and Alan Simpson, was first broadcast in the 1960s but had a second run of new series from 1970 to 74. It featured a father and son who lived on Oil Drum Lane, a fictional street in Shepherd's Bush, London.
I think they're both sadly no longer with us. I mean, the one was fairly getting on a bit.
He wasn't that old actually
Was
when
he
he was
not?
in.
He just looked old.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
well,
wasn't.
yeah.
He wasn't actually that old.
Heavy paper round.
But yes, they've both departed.
They were great. They were.
Very funny programme. So, to repeat number two, which BBC sitcom, written by Ray Galton and Alan Simpson, was first broadcast in the 60s but had a second run of new series from 1970 to 1974? It featured a father and son who lived on Oil Drum Lane, a fictional street in Shepherd's Bush, London. Right, number three is going to be a bit difficult if you don't remember the early 70s, but don't worry because there's lots more that you will know. Number three then, which 1971 ITV action comedy series starred Tony Curtis as Danny Wilde and Roger Moore as Lord Brett Sinclair? Two globe-trotting millionaire playboys from different backgrounds who reluctantly teamed together to solve cases that the police could not.
It was a bit like the A-Team then. In the 80s.
Yes.
They used to go around solving crimes and generally helping people who were being wronged by someone in their little van. Great programme, the A-Team.
Maybe you could have that on your 80s quiz.
Maybe I will.
Not next time though. Have you got them all?
I've got them all. My questions are
DJ
ready.
Nigel has got all his he works his questions out months in advance, don't you? It seems.
Well, yes. I have to get my questions ready and just.
You like to be prepared.
I do like to be prepared, Penny, you're right.
So to repeat number three, which 1971 ITV action comedy series starred Tony Curtis as Danny Wilde and Roger Moore as Lord Brett Sinclair, two globe-trotting millionaire playboys from different backgrounds who reluctantly teamed together to solve cases that the police could not?
You don't ever hear of any international playboys who aren't loaded, do you? So when you say millionaire playboys, they generally It goes hand in hand.
Yeah, but in those days, in the early 70s, to be a millionaire was something. Now it's, there's millionaires
Everyone's
all
a
over the place.
Well,
we're not yet, are we?
No. We won't be doing this for free, are we?
That's it. Number 4. Which British adventure TV series was written as a continuation to an 1877 book by Anna Sewell? It was produced by London Weekend Television, remember that, and initially shown by ITV between 1972 and 1974 in the Sunday tea time family time slot, and gained a wide audience. Repeats continued into the mid-1980s. We did start singing the song to it. Do you want to do the song?
Sorry, I was concentrating on something else.
Sorry.
What was
let me say it one
say
more
it again,
time.
I'll listen this time.
So number 4, which British adventure TV series was written as a continuation to an 1877 book by Anna Sewell? It was produced by London Weekend Television and initially shown by ITV between 1972 and 1974 in the Sunday tea time family time slot and gained a wide audience. Repeats continued into the mid-80s. You've forgotten what it is, haven't you?
Yeah, I got a clue.
Now, if Facebook cuts us off for copyright and any music, it will be a miracle. It really will be.
And it wasn't. I thought that was the Oneidin line, didn't I?
It's not the Oneidin line.
Yeah.
Oh, but I've actually got the right tune there. Because if I haven't, I've put everyone off.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Anyway, it was a family show. Right, number 5. Which British television talent show was hosted by Derek Hobson from 1973 to 1978. It was revived in the 1980s with former winner Marty Kane as the host. Famous winners and contestants included Victoria Wood, Lenny Henry, Shawaddy Waddy, Les Dennis and Patty Boulay. And Patty Boulay was the only act who ever attained the maximum mark.
Not Lenny Henry. Oh,
No.
He was great on that
Oh, he was.
show. Yeah.
He was great on Tiswas as well.
Someone's saying that that's not as good as the theme tune to number 3. I don't know what number 3's theme tune was, but...
I can't remember how it goes.
Anyway, go on.
Right, so to repeat number 5, which British television talent show was hosted by Derek Hobson from 1973 to 1978? It was revived in the 1980s with former winner Marty Kane as the host. Famous winners and contestants included Victoria Wood, Lenny Henry, Shawaddy Waddy, Les Dennis and Patty Boulay.
What happened to Patty Boulay?
She's still going, I
Is she?
think.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, I did
Oh,
briefly
Patty
look
Boulay.
up, yeah.
I'll tell you what, who drags her out every Hogmanay is, what's the face? He drags his mate out.
You're talking about Jules Holland now,
Yes,
aren't you?
I am. And who's that woman he drags out every year? Like Patty Boulay, but not Patty Boulay. Ruby Turner.
Ruby Turner.
Ruby Turner. He drags her out year after year
She's
with
got
the
a
same
good
song.
voice.
Eh?
Oh, come on. She's got a good voice.
The thing is, everyone's so pissed they've forgotten in the
But they're not really,
period.
because it's not recorded on...
No, it's recorded in the summer.
Well, not in the summer, but it's recorded in advance, isn't it?
Yes. Ruby Turner.
Sorry to shatter your illusions here.
I bet there's some people who didn't know that.
Hootenanny isn't broadcast live.
And how did we find out that? Because Paul McCartney was ill.
Paul McCartney, no, he was going in for an operation, wasn't he?
Yes. On his Facebook page or something. And then,
Well, I think it's before Facebook, but yeah, whatever.
And then we saw him on it. Hang on, he's made a quick recovery. Bloody unbelievable.
Number 6, quick one. Who hosted World of Sport throughout the 1970s? That's number 6. Who hosted World of Sport throughout the 1970s? Number 7. We're getting into the late well, the mid-70s into the late 70s now. The last production by the partnership of Jerry and Sylvia Anderson was which live-action science fiction TV programme that was broadcast from 1975 to 1977. It was the most expensive series produced for British television up to that time. The opening episode saw the explosion of nuclear waste stored on the far side of the moon, knocking the moon out of orbit and sending it, as well as the 311, this is very specific, 311 inhabitants of research base Moonbase Alpha careering into space.
So the moon was careering into space? Or
yes.
the moon base? Oh, the moon
The
itself.
moon, the whole moon.
Well, that's a bit of a shame.
Because of a nuclear explosion.
Oh. A stark warning, Pen.
Yes, indeed.
For
So
these megalomaniacs
yes,
that
nuclear
run our
waste
countries.
stored on the moon exploded, causing the moon to knock out of orbit and sending it and the inhabitants of the research base careering into space.
See, that's ahead of his time, though. That's to do with fracking and all that kind of stuff. That is.
Well, that's not fracking. It's new, but people, you had the Green and Common women and that campaigning against nuclear.
On Moonbase Alpha.
No, but campaigning about nuclear energy and nuclear waste and that. So it was well known at the time.
I think they just fancied a bit of a summer holiday, that lot. They're like camping away and having a good time.
Anyway, yeah. So this was number 7 live action science TV programme that was broadcast from 75 till 77, and it was actually produced by Jerry and Sylvia Anderson. They are from the Birds fame.
Ah.
But this was a live action programme.
That's a brilliant theme tune as well.
Yes, lots of people saying lots of brilliant theme tunes. You see, we would play these theme tunes, we could sing them, and Facebook won't kick us off because we can't sing very well. But if we try playing them, Facebook would kick us off.
Yeah.
Because they've got very strict, that's why we can't do our music live streams on Facebook any longer, why we're doing them on YouTube instead. Right, number 8. 1978, ITV started broadcasting which American television series based on a Marvel Comics character? The series starred Bill Bixby as Dr. Bruce Banner and Lou Ferrigno as his alter ego. What was that programme? It's a 2008 film with the same title. That's number 8. In 1978, ITV started broadcasting which American television series based on a Marvel Comics character? The series starred Bill Bixby as Dr. Bruce Banner, there's lots of B's there, and Lou Ferrigno as his alter ego. Sorry, I said Ferrigno. Is it Ferrigno or Ferrigno?
Ferrigno. Lou Ferrigno, I thought it was.
Yeah, I thought it was. I've just spelt it incorrectly on here then.
He was Arnold Schwarzenegger's mate, he was.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a 2008 film by the same title. Number 9. Which BBC television series was based on the books of Alf Wright, who wrote under a pseudonym and was set in the Yorkshire Dales? It starred Christopher Timothy, Robert Hardy, Carol Drinkwater and later Linda Bellingham and Peter Davidson. It ran from 1978 until 1990 and has recently been revived.
A reboot.
Ooh.
There you go. That was a good series, actually. Very, very interesting.
So number 9, which BBC television series was based on the books of Alf Wright, who wrote under a pseudonym and was set in the Yorkshire Dales? It starred Christopher Timothy, Robert Hardy, Carol Drinkwater and later Linda Bellingham and Peter Davidson. It ran from 1978 until 1990 and has recently been revived. And finally, for the last round of the last question of the last round of this quiz, although we will have a tiebreaker for fun, whether we need it or not.
We might do.
Minder, although we all think of it as an 80s programme, first aired in October 1979, so I can have it on my 70s quiz, yay!
Or Arthur.
So it revolved around the relationship between Arthur Daly, a rather dodgy businessman, and his bodyguard or minder Terry McCann. But who was their chief adversary in the local police force?
Now, we had questions in my 80s quiz about the barman in the club.
What Arthur Daly drank?
No, that was a supplementary question. Somebody asked that. I asked the question about the name of the club, which was the Winchester Club. And then somebody said, what drink did he drink? And he had a large VAT day.
Yes.
So vodka and
tonic,
That's like, that was quite funny, that was.
So number 10, Minder first aired in October 1979, revolving around the relationship between Arthur Daly and his minder Terry McCann. But who was their chief adversary in the local police force? Right. Finalise your answers, everyone.
Yes. Just wondering if anyone on here is going on to the live stream that's going on tomorrow, the big one, which is the Discos for Grown-Ups.
Oh, Discos for Grown-Ups.
Yeah, so that's Simon Stanton up in Grantham, I think he's.
Nottinghamshire.
He's done ever so well with his. Started the same sort of time as us, but obviously he only sort of focuses on the sort of 70s and 80s, but he's got a phenomenal amount of people following that. So it's unbelievable.
Yes.
Yeah, it really has. He's charging now because he's got so many people coming, and he's also donating some of his money to the Captain Tom Foundation.
Oh, right.
So,
Oh,
number six.
Number six. Oh, right. Number 6. Who hosted World of Sport throughout the 1970s?
What was the? Do you know what the other side programme was on Saturday afternoon?
Yes, Grandstand.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah. And then there was, I think on World of Sport.
Oh, on World of Sport, yes, I've got some.
They had the wrestling.
They had the wrestling. They had On the Ball.
Oh yes.
Which was, so I've got the a typical edition.
Oh, okay.
Would be broadcast between 12:15 and 5:10.
Yes.
It would take the following format.
You know why 5:10? Because it used to have the scores.
The scores, yeah.
Some teletyper. Oh, you got it all there, have you? Oh.
So at 12:20 you'd have On the Ball, which would be the football preview with Brian Moore, and in later years Ian St John and Jimmy Greaves.
Oh yes.
Then at 1 o'clock you'd have Sports Special 1, where you'd have an array of sports, including less prominent sports at the time, such as darts, snooker, bowls, water skiing, speedway, rallying.
Speedway, yeah.
Yes, and they'd sometimes have boxing as well.
Dog racing as well.
Probably.
I seem to remember that dog racing.
At 1:30 they'd have racing, as in horse racing, in the ITV7. I'm still on the questions. At 3 o'clock they'd have Sports Special 2, which would be like Sports Special 1.
Yes.
But we didn't sports. And some of the sports I had, actually, they had some weird ones. So the World Barrel Jumping Championship.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Barrel jumping, yeah. As in beer barrel jumping, jumping over
I
beer
think
barrels.
so. I think so, yes. At 3:45 they'd have the half-time scores.
Yes.
Obviously, the football scores. 4 o'clock, the wrestling.
Yeah.
Wrestling. Commentary by Kent Walton.
Oh, yes. And do you remember at the end of, when that all sort of came to a bit of an end and it lost its popularity, there was a wrestler called Kendo Nagasaki.
Yes, no, That's before the end, wasn't it?
No, he wasn't before the end, but he used to wear a mask.
Yes.
And at the end of it, when they stopped broadcasting the thing, they unveiled him.
Did they?
And he just looked like a bloke down the pub. I'm big disappointed.
Did you think he was going to be Japanese or sumo wrestler type?
I honestly thought he was Japanese. He wasn't. He was like an Englishman.
And then yes, 4:45 you'd have the results service, the full-time football results, and yeah, if you did the pools.
Yeah, you'd be getting very excited about 4:30.
The good old days, eh?
Come on then, let's do the answers.
Should we have the answers?
Yeah.
Should we have the answers?
Come on, make right.
Right, okay then. So number one, the Hanna-Barbera animated character, Scooby-Doo. Number one, Scooby-Doo. Number two, the BBC sitcom, The Father and Son Who Lived on Oldham Lane, was of course Steptoe and Son. Number two, Steptoe and Son. Number three, the 1971 ITV action comedy series, the jet-setting, globe-trotting millionaire playboys, Tony Curtis and Roger Moore, before Roger Moore was James Bond.
Yes.
It was The Persuaders. Number three, The Persuaders. Number four, I hope I've got the right tune here. I might have got it completely wrong, but anyway, the clue is that is a continuation of the 1877 book by Anna Sewell, The Adventures of Black Beauty. Number four, The Adventures of Black Beauty. If you just put Black Beauty, give yourself a point. Number five, the British television talent show, hosted by Derek Hobson, was New Faces. Number five, New Faces. Number six, World of Sport was hosted by Dickie Davis. Number six, Dickie Davis. Number seven, the sci-fi programme, The Last by Jerry and Sylvia Anderson as a partnership, was Space 1999. Number seven, Space 1999. Number eight, the Marvel Comics character in the American television series that started in 1978, The Incredible Hulk. Number eight, The Incredible Hulk. Number nine, BBC television series based on the books of Alf Wright, who wrote under a pseudonym, and that pseudonym was James Herriot, it's easy for me to say. All Creatures Great and Small. Number nine, All Creatures Great and Small. And number 10, Minder, Arthur Daly and Terry McCann's chief adversary in the local police force was Detective Sergeant Albert Chisholm. Detective Sergeant Albert Chisholm. If you just put Chisholm, you can have a point. I'm feeling so
cautious
generous.
to the wind here,
so generous tonight.
Unbelievable.
So let us know your scores for round
final round.
That's round 4 even.
Final round. Everyone. Margaret 3. See, Margaret didn't have a telly, I don't think. I think this has come up before.
Yes, it is a bit difficult if you didn't have a TV at the time.
Lisa and Mark have got 10 out of that. I'm surprised at that one, because they're a bit younger than us.
Well,
they must, I don't know, must have watched it on reruns.
Lots of people have got 10.
They're watching it on catch up, I think.
But there was some fantastic programmes in the 70s.
Yes, I agree with you, Ping.
I mean, there were some dodgy programmes as well. Some programmes that were very un-PC.
Yes.
No, I wouldn't put them in my quiz, but yeah, there's some great programmes in all sorts of genres.
Claire Trudgeon, can you tell me your scores for the first 2 rounds? I haven't written them down for some reason, I don't know why. Dave has got a full house, well done. Bill, you've got a full house, get you.
Well, there we go. So it wasn't too hard.
No.
So I run these questions past DJ Nigel, my dear husband, to make sure they're not too difficult. And some of them he was trying to make out they were too difficult, but here we go. People have got them.
The proof's in the pudding.
Yes, indeed. So while while we're waiting, actually, I won't ask you that question because I might have that on another quiz. Let's have a look. Oh, so can you remember any of the judges on New Faces? So we've got number 5, the answer was New Faces, and contestants included Victoria Wood, Lenny Henry, Shawadi Wadi, Les Dennis and Patty Boulay. But can anyone remember some of the judges on there? I certainly do. It was the...
now this came up in the... I was going to ask this question because I love this question.
Go on.
It came up because I think the regulars will know this, but they might have forgotten. So, what time was the baby born in the song Up the Junction?
Up the Junction, yes.
What time was the baby born?
And that is the 70s song, so we can ask that, can't we?
We can ask that, yes. So let me, 9 for Lisa. Well done, Lisa. Alison, 9. Well done, Alison. Tell you what, 9 out of 10 there. Whoa, Griff. Full rounds. Stephen, well done, Steve. Stephen Doty, 8 out of 10. Jane.
Oh yes, they're getting some.
Stevie DeVito.
Yes, you're getting some of the judges. Yes, there'd always be 4 judges, but it was different people. It wasn't always the same people. Bit like Strictly, isn't it? All these other talent shows. So yes, Tony Hatch, Mickey Mouse, yes, I remember them definitely. Someone Parnell. Oh yeah. Oh, I haven't written him down, but yes, that does ring a bell.
Hey, there's a lot of people who say they've got their best score in any of our quizzes, you know. This is...
I've made it too easy.
Oh,
people like the 70s.
Maybe they're just getting into it now.
The 70s are great.
Sam and Daisy the dog have done well. They got 7 there, so that's a good score for that round.
Nina Miskov, was she?
Nina Miskov, yes.
Yes.
She was married to Dennis Waterman, wasn't she?
Rulenenska, that was.
Rulenenska, that was. Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Well, other judges were Arthur Askey, apparently. Ed Stewart, Steepot Stewart.
Oh, yeah.
Lionel Blair, Shaw Taylor.
Mickey Mouse. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, bloody hell.
Shaw Taylor, the policing.
Yes, Keep 'em Peeled.
Keep 'em Peeled, what was that?
Police 5, no?
Yeah, Police 5.
Was it Police 5?
Police 5 was...
He used to do It'll Be Alright in the Night as well, didn't he?
I'm not sure he did. No, that was someone else, wasn't it? Terry Wogan and Noel Edmonds apparently were also judges.
Okay. Yeah. Right, I've got most of the scores.
Have you got the scores?
I've got most of them.
I think most of them.
I've got the ones. I haven't got Joe the Lady, and Joe the Lady was a contender, so I need Joe the Lady.
Joe the Lady, let us know your score.
I think Linda Locker was a contender as well. I haven't got her scoring. But the ones I've got so far, let me work out.
Right, we're going to have... We're going to have a tiebreaker, whether we need it or not, because it's just fun to have a tiebreaker, isn't it?
We are.
This is, unless you actually incredibly knowledgeable, I had no idea on this. It'll be a guess, really, I think. But and the answer isn't in the 70s either.
Yeah.
It relates to the 1970s. I'll tell you in a moment.
I'm just coming up with the...
with the leaderboard. I hope you've all enjoyed it, folks.
Yes.
I mean, we do these quizzes. We started, I think it was last April with the quizzes. We started with the live stream music events at the beginning of the first lockdown last year. But we started doing the quizzes, I think it was April time. And they've become quite popular, haven't they?
Yeah.
And we enjoy doing them. It's all for fun.
So the kind of quizzes we do is this 70s one. Next week is the 80s one. So that's all about the 80s decade, not music. It's got music in it, but it's got the same sort of thing: TV shows, chocolate bars, after shows.
DJ Nigel will be hosting that one.
Then there's your pop music, retro music
60s,
quiz.
70s and 80s retro music quiz.
Which is all about music, obviously. And then you've got DJ Ozzy's Madcap rock music quiz.
Yes.
So that's the quizzes, right? Let's go down the leaderboard. So we got lots of people, too many to mention, who got 10 out of 10 in that round.
Well done, everyone.
So everyone who got 10 out of 10, well done in that round. Very good score.
Yay.
So the leaderboard then, let's have a look. We have got these two on equal seconds. So we have got in third place at the end of the quiz. Well done to Jane Roger.
Wow.
So Jane, stay on because you normally do really well on the tie-break. You normally get very close to the tie-break. Honourable mention to birthday boy Phil, who got 34.5.
Are these thirds?
So yeah, these are thirds.
Yeah.
So in equal second is Lynette and Perry and Paul Kie, but continuing his form and scoring a magnificent score of 38 points. Let's give it up for Mark Griffiths.
Way!
So,
Well
congratulations,
done,
Mark.
Rick.
Mark plays the guitar. I believe he also works at Birmingham University.
Oh, our daughter's there.
Yes, I don't know what he does there, but he works at Birmingham University. So we're going to give you a like, and we're also going to give you a heart from Vinyl Revival.
Yeah. I think I'm going to have to start getting some prizes not worth winning, aren't I? I might need to.
Well, we've still got some DVDs in our DVD box.
It ought to be a 70s one, really, though.
It probably is. Yeah. So yeah, and thanks everyone for joining, and thanks to you, Penny, for putting that together, because that was a nice variety of questions. I think everyone's got good scores. They've got sort of in the late 20s and 30s.
Yes.
Even Margaret's done quite well. She's got 13.5.
That's my alarm to tell me I need to take the painkiller from the shelter. Excuse us a moment.
How do you turn this off, Penny?
I don't know. But it doesn't stop the alarms. Oh, what? It to me.
Sorry, folks. Penny.
Right.
Okay, we're back.
Oh, there we go, everyone. It's just to prove it's live. Just to prove it's live.
This is a live quiz, folks. You don't get this on the Generation Game. Thank God they cry.
Right, okay, let's just have the tiebreaker for fun. We have an outright winner in Griff, so excellent.
Yeah, congratulations, Griff. So on with the tiebreaker.
But the tiebreaker, okay, so we mentioned earlier that the 15th February 1971 was Decimalisation Day, which is when the whole country moved to pounds and pence rather than pounds, shillings and pence. But there had been earlier sort of experimentations in decimalisation, and in fact the very first decimal coin was the florin, which was the 2 shilling piece. What I want to know is when the Royal Mint actually minted the first coin, the first florin. It wasn't in
1971.
It wasn't 1971. In fact, it wasn't even in the 20th century. So the tiebreaker, I want to know, when did the Royal Mint first mint Britain's first decimal coin? I want your answer in the comments, please. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put your answer in the comments. What year?
Show me what I'm looking for. Ooh, right, okay. So we'll let these go on until they dry up.
Yes. Just pop your answers in. It was quite a shock when I was doing my research. I was quite amazed, really. I can see someone's got it spot on.
Have they?
Yes.
I can't see anyone who's got it spot on. How can you see someone who's spot on? This is weird. Oh yes, yeah.
This is according to Wikipedia, folks, but right, I'm going to stop it.
Mark Trudgeon at 12:52.
Well, it could have been. It could have been, couldn't it? It's not...
I think he's been on the Aldi wine here. Yeah, oh my God.
Well, I'm going to give the answer now because, you know, people can look these things up now, can't they? So I'm going to give the answer. So the answer, the first decimal coin introduced to Great Britain was in 1849. Jane Cooper, you were spot on. Well done, Jane. So, yes.
Let's give Jane some likes now.
Yes, the florin was introduced with the phrase 1/10 of a pound. So it was a 2 shilling coin, but it was 1/10 of a pound, making it a decimal coin. There were various royal commissions into decimal currency in 1838, 1846, 1856 and 1918. But the first coin was the florin in 1849. And there you go. So, all we have to say now is thank you so much for joining us this evening. We hope you've enjoyed yourselves. We have, haven't we?
We've had a great time. We've enjoyed your company.
Thank you, DJ Nigel, for your assistance.
And hopefully we'll see you next Friday for the big 80s, back to the 80s quiz.
It's going to be big. It's going to be big.
And then join us on Saturday for the 60s, 70s, 80s party night. So, yeah, that's it. Thanks very much.
That's it. Thank you all. Take care, keep safe, and see you soon.